Hi, I'm Dan Ross, and in this video I'm going to talk about what may be preventing somebody from reaching their goals. And I'm standing here in this dead forest because I think that makes for a good metaphor for what's actually going on in somebody's mind when they've tried something and haven't been able to achieve it. So how that shows up is maybe you've had something in life where you've had a goal or a dream or desire or some kind of ambition, and you've tried many times to make that happen. And it could be something you want, or it could be something you don't want, like breaking a bad habit. And you've maybe tried willpower, you've maybe read some self-help books, maybe you've gone and gotten some therapy, maybe you've gone to seminars, something like that. And despite all of that, you still haven't been able to make it happen. And maybe you start it and then you find out that you're not actually taking action towards making it happen, or you get halfway through it and you kind of think you want something else, and so you stop. So how this actually works is there's something going on in your unconscious mind if you've tried to make something happen and it hasn't happened. And that's why I'm using this dead forest as a metaphor, because about 30 years ago, the trees in this area started dying off, and scientists were trying to figure out what was happening. They didn't know if it was tree beetles, or if it was something, some chemical got in the soil, or what it actually was. And they actually closed the area off for a while because they thought it was dangerous. And what they found out was this is a volcanic area, and there was carbon dioxide that was naturally coming up through the porous soil and was getting into the tree roots, and there was too much carbon dioxide and it was killing the trees off. So carbon dioxide, as we know, is in the atmosphere, and it's what we breathe out all the time. So it's generally a harmless, odorless thing that's going on, and that's kind of like what may be going on in your unconscious mind when you've tried something and you haven't been able to make your goal happen. Because just like the carbon dioxide, there's this sort of silent thing operating in the background that I like to call limiting beliefs. And that's the first category of what prevents people from often getting what they want, is limiting beliefs, which is this sort of silent and odorless thing that's operating in the background, kind of like the carbon dioxide gas here, that is sort of a dream killer. It's a goal killer. And again, it's unconscious. It's not something that you're consciously thinking about, but it could show up as an unconscious filter of how somebody sees the world. They might see the world as, unsafe, so they don't actually take the actions they need to take, or that it's kind of hopeless. If you take the action, why try? Because you always fail, you're not good enough, or you're not worth having it. And again, this isn't something that somebody goes around thinking. It's just something that operates in the background. So it's sort of that one step forward and 4 steps back sort of thing that often people get into, or they start on a project, they're all gung ho, and then they kind of find themselves watching TV or reading or just doing something else to distract them when they could be out, pursuing their dream or their goal. So how this shows up is, so I see people for all sorts of different issues, and I've had a couple of people recently who came in for things like fear of speaking in public, fear of singing, things like that, which normally would be a pretty quick thing to take care of. And in most cases, there's a process that I can use that can resolve that by about 70%. About the fear reaction goes down by about 70%. We can get that done in one session. But we got into these deeper things about, I'm not worthy, or what will people think of me? And these were, again, the unconscious beliefs that were operating in the background. So when you come in and we find out what's actually stopping you from getting your goal, we get into these, we can give linguistic names or linguistic assignments to actually what's going on. So, if I try and I don't succeed the first time, then I'm a failure, right? It might be an example of some kind of limiting belief that's operating in the background. So with these people, we got into this deeper work and we found out what the limiting beliefs were, changed that, and then they were actually able to go ahead and do these things. So the second thing that often prevents people from achieving their dreams and goals and desires is some kind of unconscious conflict. So part of them wants it, and part of them doesn't want it. And often the part of them that wants it is the conscious part. So the conscious part could say, I want to lose weight, I want to get healthier, I want to get a better job, I want to start a business. And that's the part that is the gung-ho part, that's like, let's do it, let's start, let's make it happen, and might even start to take some action. And then there's an unconscious part, often unconscious, which is the part that has them not take the action or even sabotage it. So the person who wants to start the business, they might actually make a few phone calls, and then next thing you know, they have a day off and they had blocked out time to actually go work on starting their business, and they find themselves surfing the internet or spending a bunch of time on Facebook or just going out and doing something else. So it's the part of them that's kind of sabotaging what they're trying to make happen. So with these conscious unconscious conflicts, I find out what they are, identify them, and then we bring them together so that all of you is working towards getting your goal. There isn't this just, start, stop, or I want it, I don't want it. It's just moving forward. So those are the two things that often prevent people from having their goals, which is some kind of limiting belief that's operating in the background, or some kind of unconscious conflict. To find out more about doing this deeper work, you can contact me, and we can have a consult where we'll find out if we're a fit to work together, and to find out exactly what your goals are and how I can help you.